I really need to make sure my record button is on before I start recording a video. Hi, I'm going to talk today about a few ways to alleviate some stress and why we need to. And so, yeah, Kaylee is going to help me, I hope. She helped me before. So come on in, have a seat, get comfortable, stick around, subscribe to my channel. Oh, you know the drill. Hit the bell so you get notified of new videos. Like this video if you will. And we'll get started here in a minute. So I just wasted a bunch of time, which is one thing I'm going to talk about today. I wasted it because I did not double check to make sure I had punched the record button. I recorded almost the entire video and then realized I wasn't recording it. So today, as I said, I'm going to talk about ways to alleviate stress, and it applies to both writers and non-writers. And it's very important for health. But first, I am going to mention that, yes, I have Veil of Stars up for pre-order, book 17 in the Wild Hunt series. And of course, Witching Fire, book 16 is still available for pre-order. Conjure Web comes out on April 19th. Run and grab your pre-order now. And there's a big Easter egg contest on my blog and in my Facebook group over the next few weeks for a Amazon gift card. So, stress, major killer in so many ways. It contributes to so many chronic illnesses. It contributes to heart issues. It contributes to blood pressure issues. It contributes to just feeling lousy. Stress is one of our biggest enemies, especially today. So many people are stressed in this world today. So it's very important to learn how to moderate that stress in your life. So I have come up with 3 thoughts for you to ponder, ways to alleviate stress or at least help moderate it. The first one is a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but once you do accept it, it becomes much easier and it helps stave off feelings of inadequacy. And that is the thought that there will always be somebody better off than you are. There will always be somebody who is more successful than you are. There will always be someone that you look up to thinking, I wish I could write like they could, sing like they could, work like they could, have luck with dating like they do. There will always be people like that. At the same time, there will always be people who look up to you thinking those same things. There's never really, truly someone on the bottom. There's always people. There are people born every day, and every day new opportunities for success to come up for people, and new opportunities, fade away, and it's a never-ending cycle. So if you spend a lot of time angsting over, well, I'm not as good as so-and-so, I don't have this like they do, I don't have a life as exciting as they do, I don't have a life as beautiful as they do, you're going to waste a lot of energy and time, and you're setting yourself up for stress and for angst and for pining for things that may not be the right path for you. The best thing to do is focus on making your own life better and not focus on trying to make it, match Joe Schmo's, match the neighbors. It's that whole thing of keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if some of you who are younger recognize that phrase, but it basically means trying to keep up with the neighbors, trying to make sure that you are as flush as the neighbors, that you have as much money as the neighbors, that you have a new car like the neighbors. What you need to do is look for what's right for you. And a lot of times maybe it isn't being as rich as the neighbors. And maybe it isn't being as lucrative or as successful or as well known as they are. And maybe your neighbors have a rotten life behind the scenes. You know, that neighbor who just bought a new car and may have bought it on credit, and they may be up to their ears in debt. Or they may have had, you know, a family member come down with cancer and they had to have a reliable car to get them to the hospital, at which time a new car wouldn't be so welcome because of the reason they had to get it. So quit assuming that other people's lives are better than yours and more wonderful than yours, and look for ways to make your own life happier. If we focus on our own lives, if we focus on our own path, then we are much more likely to have a wonderful time and to basically cut down on our angst. Isn't that right? Now, number 2, stress is a killer. We all know that. Stress accentuates chronic illness. It accentuates heart disease. It plays into so many illnesses. And we need to do what we can to alleviate it. Okay. Apparently that was enough of that. I'm going to tell you a couple little stories here about me, which not so much fun, but I love shows like Criminal Minds. I love movies like Silence of the Lambs, you know, serial killer stuff, and dark shows. And I can no longer watch most of them because the stress of watching those shows, even though it's a TV show, plays into my reactions. I've had to cut back on watching shows that make me tense up and make me catch my breath and go, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Because I don't need any more reactions than I already have. And I was finding that by watching shows like that, I was just making things worse. Now, I'm also going to say that goes for music. I love darkwave. I love grunge. I love, you know, heavy industrial goth music. And now I still listen to it, but I can only listen to it during the day. Because if I listen to it in the evening, it tenses me up and can throw me into a reaction in the middle of the night. So I've had to limit and pull back my time frame and how much I listen to music like that. Which makes me sad because it's my favorite, but it also, I've become aware on how much it affects my body because I'm an audiophile, and music, I feel the music in my body. So I've taken to, at night, listening to a lot of meditation music and just watching calm TV shows, you know, fun TV shows. Humor has been a very important part of getting my MCAS under some semblance of control. So look for areas in your life where stress is eating you up, even stress that is harmless, that you would think of as harmless stress, because that plays into your life as well. Now, number 3 is learning to say no. Think of it this way. Time that you spend doing anything is an expenditure of energy. It's a unit of exchange, just like money. That's where we get, you know, time is money. Yeah, it is. Time is also energy. How much energy do you have, and where do you want to spend it? Think of it in terms of dollars. We'll use the spoon theory. I have 10 spoons of energy. How much do I want to spend on things? And how much do I want to spend on other people before I pay myself? Pay yourself first in energy as well as money. Pay yourself first. First, you allocate energy to your work that you need to do. You allocate energy to your health that you need to keep up. And you allocate energy to downtime that helps keep you sane. Work, health, and downtime. And if you have like kids, of course, family, they have to be factored in there too. So after you pay yourself so much energy, what do you have left for others? I have come to the realization that I have been spending a lot of time doing things for other people. And a lot of time they haven't asked me to do those things. Someone says, oh, what's this or that? I run to Google. I run over to Google. I look it up. I come back. I tell them. They never asked me to do that, but I just spent, say, 20 minutes looking up something for them that they didn't ask me to do. Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my place to do that, because I need those 20 minutes for something else. I could be meditating for 20 minutes. I could be working an extra 20 minutes. I could be spending 20 minutes relaxing, which I don't do a whole lot. So you first look at your own life, pay the areas in your life that you need to pay, and then whatever's left, you can decide whether you want to spend it on other people or not. Now, I'm not saying that, being selfish is the way to go, but we have to be somewhat selfish or we burn ourselves out. And right now, burnout is a major problem for a lot of people. A lot of people are having creative burnout and energy burnout, and just they're losing it because we are still in the middle of a pandemic that is not showing a sign of letting up. In fact, it's getting worse in some areas. Brazil is really bad right now. All of that world stress we can feel around us, and it comes in like an unseen visitor and it eats away at us. We hear a chance, broadcast on some news station, or we see a headline and that sticks in our brain. We sit there in this world right now. There are a lot of wonderful things in it, but there are a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of death, a lot of mayhem. So we need to allocate our energy so that it will serve us best. And I have decided this year, one of my big things, I am only saying yes to things that A, put my career further ahead, B, advance my health, C, gives me joy. Now, it gives me joy to help people at times, but there are other times when I am spread thin and I have to say no. Learning to say no is one of the strongest things you can do for yourself. And it is also one of the hardest things, especially if you're female. Women are trained to take care of other people in our society. We are brought up to take care of other people. We are taught to put other people ahead of ourselves. Well, I'm here to tell you, you've got to unlearn that, because your needs, your time, your energy is just as important as somebody else's. And if you spend all your energy on all these outside things, say, it used to be PTA bake sales, or helping so-and-so with their website, or helping so-and-so figure out how to write a blog and post it. If you spend all your time doing that when it's not your job, then you're not going to have the time to apply to your own life. Think of it as a tithe. How much can I spend on other people this week? Where do I want to spend? So those are 3 ways to get some of your stress under control. Recognize that there's always going to be somebody better off than you, and it's okay. And you're always going to be somebody else's role model, even if you don't know it. 2, stress kills creativity. How can you alleviate it? Are there things you are doing that are adding stress to your life that you don't even recognize? Look for the areas that stress you out, and can you eliminate those? And 3, learn to say no. Learn to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Or even, I'd no longer try to apologize. Learn to say, no, I cannot do this at this point. So tell me in the comments, how do you relieve stress? Are there areas in your life that you suddenly recognize that are stressful that you didn't realize? How are you going to deal with it? Talk to me, people. And I will talk to you next week. And maybe before then, who knows? But I will see you next week. Take care and bye-bye.